Public is the first investing app that I've seen that allows you to build a multi-asset portfolio from stocks and ETFs to crypto and T-bills with purpose-built tools that help you track all of it from one app on your smartphone. But does Public live up to the hype? What makes it so unique? And is this a platform where you can confidently invest your hard-earned money? Well, today let's break down everything you need to know about the Public investing app and ultimately help you decide if it's a good fit for you. So full transparency right out of the gate, Public was kind enough to sponsor today's video. So to be clear, this is more of a product showcase than a typical review, but as always, I'm going to be sharing my honest thoughts, including what I like and what I don't like as a Public user myself, to ultimately help you make a well-informed decision on where to invest your money. And I'll tell you from the start that Public has a lot of unique features that I haven't seen elsewhere. So if at any point in today's video you do want to learn more and give Public a shot, then that'll be the first link down in the description below. And using that link does help support all of this free content, which I really appreciate. All right, so let's start off with the core features and account options, and then we'll get into some of those big differentiators, as well as some of the areas where I think Public could improve. So what Public is most well known for is being an investing app with over 9,000 stocks and ETFs, options, bonds, treasuries, and yes, even cryptocurrencies. And the good news right from the start is that on some of these investment types, there are no commission fees on trades during regular market hours, and some have no minimum investment requirements, and using their fractional shares feature, you can get started with as little as $1. Let's be honest though, nowadays free trading is kind of an expectation, but Public takes this a step further by eliminating the use of payment for order flow on standard equity trades, which is actually the first big differentiator. Without boring you to death too much, payment for order flow is essentially the typical model used by many platforms where they take your order to purchase a particular stock or other asset, pass it along to a broker, and in most cases get a small kickback on that transaction, which is exactly how many of these platforms make most of their money. But the bad part with payment for order flow is that this means you, as the person actually placing that order, wouldn't necessarily be getting the best price possible on that asset. So by eliminating payment for order flow on standard equity trades, Public is helping to ensure that when you submit a request to buy a stock for $100, the actual price that you pay comes as close to $100 as possible, which is great. Circling back to options for a second, which I know is a more niche market, and I'll be the first to admit that I've only dabbled in this arena a little bit, but one thing that I have to mention, because I've actually never seen it before, is that Public offers a rebate to trade options on their platform. Sounds pretty crazy at first, but you can actually earn a rebate of 6 cents to 18 cents per option contract based on your monthly trading volume. So if you frequently trade options, then you'd be surprised how quickly that can start to add up. So within all of those many asset classes that I just mentioned, there's a few additional features that can help take things to the next level. For example, not only can you invest in bonds, but they actually have a dedicated bond account. Now there is a minimum initial deposit of $1,000, but this unique account option allows you to invest in a portfolio of investment grade and high yield corporate bonds instead of just picking one. And it lets you lock in a 7% or higher yield at the time of recording this video with regular interest payments. So let's say you're setting aside chunks of cash for some big life event, like a wedding or maybe the down payment on a house. Well, instead of just letting that money sit in a checking or savings account, you can put it in one of these bond accounts and lock in a much higher interest rate than you would get on a savings or checking account. And if you're into bond investments in general, Public not only offers thousands of corporate and treasury bonds, but they've also applied the same fractional shares model from their stocks and ETFs to their bond options as well, with over 100 bonds to choose from that will allow you to invest as little as $100. And with so many choices, you'll probably also want to check out their bond screener, which allows you to filter by the bond's yield, risk level, or even the time horizon of that particular investment. In a similar vein, you can also open a treasury account through Public, which helps you invest in 6-month T-bills. In case you're not familiar, a T-bill is essentially a form of short-term debt that the US Treasury will issue, and it works in a similar way to a bond, but typically matures much faster. A bond might not reach full maturity for 20 or 30 years, but a T-bill could mature in just a matter of weeks. So the cool thing with this treasury account is that Public will automatically reinvest your T-bills once they reach maturity, allowing you to compound that yield with pretty minimal effort on your end. All right, I think that's enough about bonds and treasuries, but Public's high yield cash account allows you to currently earn 4.6% APY on your uninvested cash, at least at the time of recording this video, although keep in mind that those rates are constantly changing. But I'm also a big fan of cash accounts because you can earn that high APY without any fees or subscriptions options without any minimum balance requirements or caps on the account balance. Plus, you can get unlimited transfers and withdrawals with up to $5 million in FDIC insurance. And if you're like me and at this point you're worried about keeping track of all of these different account options and investment types, then I will just mention here that Public recently launched what they call Income Hub, which is a quick and easy way that allows you to track your income generating assets from multi-asset investment portfolios and see how much your T-bills, bonds, uninvested cash, dividends, and other income producing assets are actually earning all in one place on your phone. And that's good to know because having so many investment options is fantastic, and I do love that Public continues to add to that list, but it's also great to know that you have one dashboard where you can get a quick snapshot of the income that those assets are actually generating without having to dig through a bunch of different accounts. But perhaps my favorite example of those enhanced account options that we've been talking about would actually be their investment plan feature, which allows you to completely automate your investing strategy by setting up recurring transfers from your linked bank account, enabling automated dividend reinvestment, sometimes called DRIP, and personalizing your portfolio based on the goals that you're trying to reach. And that, coupled with their built-in price alerts, extended hours for trading, and company-specific data analysis, allows you to be as hands-on, or in my case, hands-off, as you want to be with your investments. They even take this a step further by having investment themes for these different plans. So if you're looking to invest in cutting-edge AI companies, then they've got a theme for that. Maybe you want to invest in companies that are promoting green power, or ones that are focused on space exploration or self-driving technology. Well, just select from their long list of investment themes, and you can easily invest in sectors and companies that you believe in without wasting hours of your life researching all of this on your own. You can even create your own custom investment plan to regularly invest in by choosing up to 20 different stocks, ETFs, or cryptocurrencies of your choice. And you can receive recommendations from Public on an investment plan that's going to meet your goals, timeline, and risk tolerance. Since I just mentioned AI though, that actually brings us to our second big differentiator of Public, and that would be their AI tool known as Alpha. Alpha is simply AI built for investors, and not only can it be used to quickly summarize investment data and financial reports, but you can literally ask it any type of investment related question that you have, and it'll give you a personalized, data-driven answer, allowing you to make faster, more well-informed decisions. All right, we've already covered a lot of different information about Public, but moving on from all of that, throughout the app, you can access up to 3 years of earnings calls, listen to expert market analysis, and even see what fellow investors think about a particular asset using the Public Feed feature. The Public Feed is really what first put Public on my radar, and its Twitter or X-like approach to investing is definitely unique. I'll be honest, this feature is not for everyone, and you definitely need to approach it with the right state of mind, because I don't want you hopping on the Public Feed, seeing a bunch of people talking about a particular asset that's about to skyrocket, you frantically invest because you're afraid of missing out, and it turns out you were too late and end up losing a lot of money. I think the Public Feed is really interesting to see what other people are chatting about and getting a new perspective on a particular investment. But I don't think that it should be used as a decision-making tool for your hard-earned money, and I don't think that's what it's intended for either. That's just my opinion though, so let me know what you think of this unique feature down in the comment section, because I've definitely never seen something like this before. Okay, last thing before we get to my final thoughts, Public does also offer Public Premium, which gives you access to enhanced data, trading features, and VIP account management. And while I'm already a huge fan of the clean and simple design of Public, as we're gonna talk about in a second, if you wanna access more enhanced data, like the ability to view candlestick charts, then for $8 a month, Public Premium might be worth looking into. And just in case any ballers are out there watching this video, if you have over $50,000 invested in your Public account, then you will actually get Public Premium for free. So maybe not applicable to everyone, but something that I did want to mention. So what is the actual layout and user experience of the app like? Have I found any major drawbacks of using Public? And ultimately, who is this platform meant for? Well, the one word that comes to mind in terms of the platform layout is simplicity. And I've talked about this in previous reviews, but I'm personally a huge fan of simple UI, especially when it comes to investing. I think a lot of new investors especially shy away because they get lost in the charts and data and confusing jargon that, let's be honest, really isn't that complicated once you break it down. And Public does a great job of walking that line between giving you the data that you need to make well-informed investing decisions without being overly complex or confusing. The buying and selling process is really seamless. Signing up and funding your account takes a matter of minutes. And of the hundreds of investing and financial platforms that I've used over the years, I'd say that Public, in terms of complexity, is really right down the middle, making it a great option option for beginner, intermediate, or advanced investors. Now, while they do have a lot of investment options and plenty to get you started, I would love to see them add some investment account types like IRAs, and even though you can find similar ETFs, it would also be nice to see them add mutual funds as well. But the good news is that they are constantly adding new investment types and features, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is something that they added in the near future. Also, I'm not a big fan of crypto myself, so if you're just looking to dip your toe into the water and invest in some crypto, then Public has you covered with 11 coins currently. But it is worth noting that the fees are going to be a little bit higher than a dedicated crypto trading platform, and there aren't any crypto wallets with Public. So if you are really focused on the crypto side of things, then you might want to look elsewhere. But at the end of the day, a lot of these investing apps start to look and feel pretty similar, and I'll be honest, a large part of the reason why I was so excited to talk about Public specifically is they are one of very few apps that I've used over the years that continues to innovate with a pretty long list of features that no one else offers. I mean, the fact that you can not only build a diverse long-term portfolio of ETFs and other asset types, but then also receive rebates on options contracts, set aside cash in a high-yield cash account, and more, all from one app on your phone, is kind of insane. But the last reason why I am happy to put my name and brand behind Public is their focus on account security. And considering some of the recent chaos in adjacent industries in the past few years, this is really crucial to me. It may not seem like that big of a deal, but they are headquartered in New York with US-based customer service, which, as someone who has used hundreds of financial platforms over the years, these little details can make all the difference. And that's one of the reasons why I'm willing to invest my hard-earned money with Public. So again, if you want to learn more, sign up, and help support Magnified Money, then you can use the first link down in the description box below, or go to public.com/magnified money. Again, huge thank you to Public for sponsoring today's video and continue to innovate in an investing space that desperately needs innovation. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.